What is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Ecom Genius Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Funderburk. And as you guys know, every episode, I'm bringing you people in power who can bring their genius to you. And today's going to be so awesome. We have Kayshaun in the house, and I think you guys are going to really like hearing from her. So I don't want to throw a bunch of fluff at you guys. I want to get right into it. Kayshaun, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I am doing just
I'm excited to
incredible.
be here.
Yes, thank you for being here. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It is a blessing to have you on the show. And I know you're going to bring so much value to the audience.
That is the goal. That is the goal. Thank you so much.
Cool. So I just want to dive straight in. I just want you to tell us, like, what was your backstory? Like, were you always the entrepreneur? Like, what was your upbringing like? Like, how did everything come to be?
Oh, wow. You making me take it really back. Technically, I've always had a spirit of entrepreneurship, and I would say that's due to my rough upbringing. Both of my parents were drug addicts, and then, eventually my dad did get clean, but I was still left with my mom in that environment, and not having food to eat. Okay, so my entrepreneurship started very early as a child. Both of my parents were drug addicts, so that caused me to have to go out. I had to look for food, look for clothing. I had to take care of myself. I had to grow up really fast. I tell people I didn't really get to have that traditional childhood, but it taught me to network and collaborate and build relationships with others so that I can get the things that I needed. So I was selling candy, at school and doing a lot of fundraisers. Anytime, they had some type of fundraiser at school, I would want to win because that would be my way of getting the prizes or to participate in a pizza party or whatever. And then eventually my father did become sober, and he became an entrepreneur even though he worked for the phone company, but he started having vending machines and buying a lot of property throughout the Bay Area and different, he did Avon and sold yoni juice, and it just went on from there and there. And as I got older, I started dibbling and dabbling in those things, so I was kind of a little successful in those, but I've always had that entrepreneur spirit within me from a child.
Nice, that's awesome. So yeah, you started out early then.
Yes, yes, but all things came all together. Even though I had that spirit, I was still drawn to the medical field. I had always wanted to be a doctor, but I only ended up becoming a nurse. And I did 20 years in the medical field, 10 as a nurse. But when I came out in 2018, I was doing more executive roles. But it was a need for my youngest son of what kind of led me into starting my company, Renew You Body Butters. And I have sensitive skin issues. My oldest son do, but my youngest, he was diagnosed with eczema when he was about 2 or 3 months old. And it was very aggressive. He had multiple forms. I didn't even know the human body can have several types of eczema at once, but it was a very gruesome period. Skin shredding, blood infections. All they can do is give him sleeping medication and steroids. And I'm like feeling like a failure, as a mom. And so I took things into my own hands and stopped him on all those medications. And I was like, okay, I've known about, holistic treatment for a while. I had a little background in it with my family, of course, but I really had to go to school, not really go to school, but do a lot of research and learn more about this condition, about, what different cultures do and different ingredients. And long story short, it took me about 3 years to formulate the product, that is known, as my famous body butter today. But it was more than just that. I needed to know what to eat, what should he be drinking, what should he be wearing, what should he avoid for any flare-ups or anything like that. But for about 10 years, I made products, just as a necessity for myself and family and those around me. But in 2018, I had the opportunity to put my products in a store. And so, but I needed to be legit. And that's when Renew You Body Butters was born.
That's awesome. All right. So I got a couple of questions from that part. And hopefully I remember all of them as you answer them. But one of them, I love that you talked about how you like to be in the medical field, and you made it to a nurse and then that executive position. And I know out of a need for your son, you make that switch. But I want you to tell us, like, what was that like going from that exec position to I'm doing something on my own?
Well, you know what? Now that I look at it, I feel like everything that I was doing was getting me prepared for where I'm at today. Because when I was a nurse, I was an LVN, not an RN. And I was going to school to get my RN, but I kept, for some reason, whenever I had a job, they will always hire me as one position, but then I would be working in multiple levels higher up. So that's what happened. I was doing a lot of executive roles. So I ended up going back to school to get my degree, my bachelor's degree in business management, became a Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and was certified in all kind of things. So it was prepping me for this entrepreneurship world. But actually, it was an injury that really took me out of the medical field. In 2018, actually a couple of months before I got my business license, a drunk driver hit me on the freeway at 85 miles an hour. And then less than 2 months later, the prison that I was working at, the gates malfunctioned as I was walking through and crushed me. And I was able to work for about 6 more months after that, maybe 6 to 8 months. And then I just couldn't do it anymore. So I kind of lightweight lost my mind in 2019 because it was like the medical field is all that I have ever known. It's like, what am I going to do? And at this time, I was only selling the body butter. I had the other items behind the scene, treating myself and people close, but the world, all they knew was body butter. And I'm just like, God, what am I going to do with this body butter? I don't know nothing about the online world. All I knew was little neighborhood vendor events. And in my mind, I just wanted to be the biggest vendor at farmers market. That's all that I can see. But today, I'm Kayshaun Brooks, the holistic pain and trauma warrior, owner of Renew You Body Butters, this luxury skincare company helping those with sensitive skin issues. And now I've partnered, with 48 affiliates, a celebrity brand ambassador, wow, and who's all about bringing more brand awareness. And of course, for them to make money. And then here I am now teaching established entrepreneurs and nonprofits how to do the same thing that I'm doing, how to start, scale, and grow their own affiliate programs. So who knew those injuries taking me out and shifting me, somewhere else would be this, so if it wasn't for those injuries, I don't think I would be here right now. I don't think so.
That's awesome. It's cool how like things that seem so bad at the time grow to be
right.
Because I remember I actually was in a bad car accident also, and a Panera. You guys got Panera breads and
yes.
So one of the drivers, she was like pulling out of like the parking lot. There's like this big like bush at the edge where you can't see if cars are coming when you pull out. So she was like, I just gunned it. I hope no car was coming. Well, I was coming, and she T-boned me, and like I couldn't walk for months, and it was like awful. But then to the whole thing, there was one person that was actually there who was taking care of me, driving me to my chiropractor
appointments and
appointment and taking
everything.
care of me. And that person's my wife. So,
Okay,
so I was like,
good.
it was such a dark time. I was like, oh well, but that's like, man, nobody's gonna be here for me like she's here for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I mean, it's not the same as like starting a business, but I was like, oh, I can kind of relate to.
Oh, most definitely. And I think that's what really made me push hard into doing the affiliate program, where I was scared, to do it. A stranger just approached me one day and was like, hey, I like your, okay, first let me back up. So when it was a big change to go from doing vending events to going online. And so when I was like, this is a world of a sea, the internet, I'm like, God, I'm about to go out here to a sea. He was like, yeah, best what you've been doing all of your life, which is go out here, network and collaborate and build relationships with these people. So it took me all the way back, from when I was a child, and having that determination to go out here where I was physically enabled to do a lot of things, where when I was doing the vendor events, I would always have to have someone me. But how many times do you think friends and family want to come set up tables and bring products, and that it's like a job and they're not getting paid? So online, I'm like, okay, I'm online, but a stranger reached out to me. I was 3 months online, just launched my website and everything.
Wow.
And she was like, hey, like you, I like your product, your mission, can I be your affiliate? And I'm like, I don't even know what an affiliate is. What is you talking about? And so she explained it to me, and I was like, let me think about it. Went to some mentors, and they was like, Kayshaun, do you understand what's in front of you? They were like, you could be the holistic Mary Kay or Avon or something like that. And I'm like, really? I can't. And so I was like, okay. I went to that person and said, I don't know a lot about this, but I'm willing to learn. And if you're willing to grow with me, let's do this. And I'm so glad, that I did, because that became a huge support system for me as I was going through therapy. I'm still in therapy to the, years since those accidents, and I'm still being treated, but I needed to depend on them. And it helped me. A lot of us entrepreneurs, we always complain about family and friends not supporting us like how we feel like they should, or the people who abandon you, like you had your wife, she stayed with you. I've been like doing this all on my own, and raising my kids. And but that, having the strangers come to me, it made me not care about who wasn't there with me, because a switch came on where either people left by choice, or if God removed them out of my life, it was for these 48 affiliates who are with me right now, for the celebrity brand ambassador. Because I came out with the spirit of, who can I network with? Who can I collaborate with? Who can I build a relationship with? It made my affiliate program something totally different. And I was able to take the experience from my dad, having me in all those networking marketing companies, of what I liked and what I didn't like. And now I get to incorporate that into my business. So it's like, who knew, being with Prepaid Legal, Avon, Noni Juice, and all of that other stuff, I would be able to take that experience and utilize it in my own affiliate program.
Wow. That's awesome. There's so much in there that could be unpacked. And
Right.
I think it's just cool. People's journeys, I just love to hear it. Two things I want to hear from. One,
Yes.
I want to hear about what that process looked like when you were formulating the product,
Mm-hmm.
and that process, those first 3 months of switching online. Like, how did that feel? What did that look like?
Oh, wow. You are asking some good questions that no one has ever asked before. So, as far as the formulating process of the body butter, so like I said, I had, skin issues plus my oldest son. So, I was used to, oh, we can just go get some pure cocoa butter or shea butter, olive oil, and we would be good with that. But with my son, I was at war. It was like it'll be good for a couple of hours, but then it'll come back even angrier. So that's what led me into learning about organic products and learning about products that don't have the alcohols and the dyes and the colors because it affects the skin. And then I have other, autoimmune conditions where I was like, hey, I think this is feeding into what I'm going through, but I was able to watch how the skin, was healing because I'm looking at it on an hour to hour basis. And plus, with me having the skin issues too, I didn't want my son to have the psychological effect that I had. So I knew I was trying to protect him from what I went through. And that's what led me to having, my products being organic because I seen what organic products do and what non-organic products do. And I was able to, that's why I have a luxury brand because everything's organic. There's no pesticides, no type of artificial colors or scents or anything like that because I know the sensitivity of what it does for the skin. And I tell people, I didn't just wake up and say, I want to have a skincare, business. It was a necessity for myself and my family, where if my company was closed down, I still would have to make everything because we use everything. But it was a journey that I'm glad that I took because I got to learn about the different ingredients all over the world. I mean, because I was looking into different cultures and how different like essential oils being grown on different soils, like the plants and stuff grown in the volcanic ash, in those type of environments. Those products are going to do something different. And I learned too, everything doesn't work for everyone. I'm not one of those companies to say, oh, you have to use mine. I'm number one on the planet. Someone may be allergic to something, I may have, but that doesn't mean they can't have something else, which taught me as well, we have to look at this as tools, as a toolbox. And it led me into, it's not just about the products. It's about how are we hydrating our body, hydrating the skin, the foods that we eat. And that's why I can educate. You can use the best products in the world, but if you over here eating this stuff that's going to cause a flare up, or if you're not drinking enough water and you're dehydrated, most skincare experts aren't going to go that deep. They just want you to buy their products. So I'm just glad that I went through that process because too, I was working in the medical field. It was like I was able to go back into everything that I learned and use it into what I'm doing today. But as far as moving forward to like how to be online, that was such a challenging experience. First I had to get my website, and it took me about 6 months to just find someone that I wanted someone that was like a holistic expert and who knew how to do websites because I knew I would need that assistance, and I did. But it's different from when you go from vending events to now you have to package things, because it was like, and it was through trial and error where, product was getting messed up, in the mail, getting broken. Because it was like I had to learn, okay, well, I got to package this. I had to switch, packaging it. And it was like, well, you got to make sure things don't get broke. But as I was increasing things, like even to this day, you know how when you order something and they send in all that bubble wrap and all the packaging and everything, I have like this whole closet full of all this wrapping stuff that has really minimized what I've had to buy because I've been able to recycle it. But it was a huge adjustment, of learning how to deal with the products in the sun, like my body butters. I wasn't used to shipping them and they're melting on the way, and customers complaining. But it took me through the process of learning how do I ship this still year around, because I noticed other companies, they will stop selling it. And I was like, I don't want to stop selling it. People need this year around. And so I had to go through that trial and error of, finding the right containers, the right packaging, shipping it there a lot faster. So it was a huge adjustment to learning how to do things online. But who helped me a lot was my affiliates. It's something that I tell each and every one of them, I'm open to constructive feedback. Help me make this program and make my company better, because I want your representation of me. I'm a representation of you. So they have been able to give me a lot of feedback as well in what to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I laugh like the time you start talking about the packing stuff, because I look over here in the corner and I got the massive like packing popcorn, like the big bulk bag that Office Depot sells.
Yes.
But question, when it comes to your affiliates, so do you have affiliates selling your skincare, or are you teaching affiliates to build affiliate programs for their products, or is it both?
It's so they get to sell the products as well, and they can sell my services, which is either working with me one-on-one, or if they know of someone who wants to start their own affiliate program, then they know they can offer my workshop for them, and they get their 20% commission as well. But I do, since you mentioned that, I do help my affiliates expand in their business, because that first affiliate I learned maybe about 3 to 4 months in, she was like, just so you know, I'm with you because I want to start my own company and I need to learn. I don't know anything about, the game. And so that made me like, okay, this is not just about them making money from me. I'm all like, she's learning from me. I need to teach her. So I took that personally, and now she has her own hairline, got the same branding colors I have. And, I'm like a proud mama over here. Like I had something to do with that. I influenced her. But so like with my affiliate program, everyone will not become an affiliate. It's not one of those where anybody who signs up, they can just become one. No, it's an interview process. I need, you have to use the products, and I want to know, what are you doing? Because I want to know, how can we collaborate? How can we network? How can our relationship grow? Like there's another one, she's been with me. This is going to be my 2nd year anniversary, by the way, this month.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. And so one of them, she started vlogging. And because she was my affiliate, she just automatically put me as a sponsor of her vlog. And I was like, wow, I didn't ask you to do that. This is amazing. And so now she's getting ready to launch her own clothing line. And she was like, hey, I'm having a launch. I would love to have your products in, our swag bags. Will you sponsor and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, of course I am. I'm going to support you in any way you can. You're supporting me, so I'm going to support you. And I've even hired some of my affiliates for different positions and things that I need in my company, because I've grown tremendously because of them. And if their company has something that I need, I'm not going to go outside of the family. I'm going to keep everything in the community and keep that money circulating between us.
That's awesome. I love it. So, no, I think that's super cool. I think I just love business. Like business is my passion. Like I was the kid who like, I've always been the entrepreneur type. Like I was in 2nd grade telling people, they're like, oh, what type of job do you want to have when you grow? I was like, I ain't gonna work a job.
Like, you were saying that in the 2nd grade?
I was straight up gonna let people know I was not working the job.
You already knew from the start.
It's cool because I started my first company when I was 13. And I had 3 business partners in their 30s. So
really? That's amazing.
Early. So I love seeing other people when they get the spark. And I love that in your affiliate program, like you get to see the spark and help like ignite that flame.
Yes.
So I absolutely love it. What does the process look like for you guys for like scaling the business and growing it? Like what does that look like?
Actually, I would say me teaching others to do the same thing, that was a huge adjustment in scaling for me, because for a while, I kept thinking like people kept asking like, hey, when are you going to start teaching people how to do what you do? And I'm like, I don't have enough experience. And they're like, what are you talking about? You got 20 something affiliates and a celebrity brand ambassador. We need to know how you're doing this. So it took me to build up my confidence and be like, okay, am I really about to expand my business into doing this? And as soon as I did, the door to show nonprofits opened up. So now I have a workshop of showing nonprofits how to start, grow, and scale their own affiliate programs. So
Oh, wow.
that is a goal of mine, is to help 100 business owners and nonprofits start their own affiliate programs. And that's one way that I see myself scaling. Madam CJ Walker is an inspiration of mine, and she had 3,000, almost 3,000 women on her sales team. So I want to beat that number. So that is a personal goal, as well. And my affiliates are also helping me mold my program. Like, I thought they would just only be interested, in selling the products. But then when I got the services, they want to sell that too. And now they want to recruit other affiliates. I'm like, what? Y'all want to recruit other affiliates for me? And so that's a major shift. And I'm, rolling with it. But that's a part of the growth plan, is to allow them to do that as well. But and getting more celebrity brand ambassadors as well is a part of our growth strategy. And I'm open to I should say my ideas are open to whatever, God brings to me, because again, who knew I would be doing this? I went from wanting to be the biggest person at the farmers market, to having this massive company right now.
That's awesome. I love it. I love when people get the growth mindset. I remember hearing the quote a while back and it totally changed me, where a guy said, there's only one reason that anyone ever makes $100,000 a year. I'm like, why is that? He's like, because they don't realize they could be making 100,000 a month. I was like, all right, then.
Okay. I can see that. And I would say from personal experience, I can see that, because when I first launched my affiliate program workshop, I was a little intimidated because I was new to the service. And I think at that time, I think I started off at $99, and then I think two people bought it, and then I raised it up to $300, and it was just a bunch of people looking. But then, as I'm getting more success in my business with more affiliates, I got a new celebrity brand ambassador coming on, in Jesus' name. And
Amen.
thank you. And so I raised it up to 4 figures. And then that's when my target market started to come, in. It was like, I don't know, maybe they thought something was wrong with me having it at $300, but when I raised it up to 4 figures, it was changed the whole game for me. It was like, okay, I don't have to work as hard. I'm valuing, my worth of what I'm bringing to the table, because you're not just getting someone who made this up. I've been in this for 2 years. I have the receipts that you can see, and I have the business management degree, the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification. All of that is mixed in there, so you get to get all of that when you're working with me, not just someone who wants to teach you about how to just make some extra money, because it's so much bigger than that. Like with my affiliates, I tell them, when you make content, I need a copy as well, because I need you to be successful in my business. I don't want people just signing up, they have a bad month and then want to quit, because it takes time to make videos, to have a photo shoot and do vlogs and everything, or write a blog, and then they just post it on their own platforms. I'm like, no, give it to me and I'm going to post it on my platforms as well. I'm going to repurpose the content, and they've gotten a lot of sales just by me repurposing their content, on my different platforms, which I have to thank them, because when I started, I was only on Facebook and Instagram. Now I'm on like 7 to 9 different platforms because of them.
That's awesome. Yeah, and with skincare, you can be on so many platforms successfully.
Yes.
I love it. It's cool that you guarantee the success of your affiliates by essentially becoming an affiliate to the affiliates of you.
And if you look at it, my affiliates are my customers as well, because I do make it a requirement that they have to purchase the product, because I feel, and it's through experience. In the beginning, I was giving people, the product, but I wasn't liking the content. They really didn't care. When you give stuff away, people treat it differently compared to when they have to invest. Now, they do get a huge discount, but that is something that I do see a lot of struggle in businesses for people who have affiliate programs or brand ambassador programs or referral programs. People like, why are you trying to charge me? Or you should be giving it away for free. And it's like, no, not over here. No, you, and two, customers know when you're just trying to push something that you haven't used. And like I said, I want them to be successful. So I know if you're talking about something that you're using, that you put on your body, they're going to sense that emotion in it compared to just, oh, I seen this online, buy this amazing product. How do you know? Have you used it? Have you smelt it? Have you touched it?
Yep. That's the biggest thing. I tell you, right, personal use is the biggest thing in business. I still remember when I first learned that lesson. And when I was 19 or 20, I opened a tattoo shop. And
you been doing it big.
But like always been an entrepreneur. But I remember I'm at this gas station, I'm promoting to this lady, and it's one like I'm 28 now, my birthday's coming up in 2 months, so I'll be 29. But like I still look like a 12-year-old. So
you
imagine,
like young. Yes, you do.
imagine me 9 years ago.
Right.
And I'm like promoting and talking about I want a tattoo shop. And I remember this lady looks at me, she goes, "You own a tattoo shop?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "But you don't have any tattoos." And I was like, "Oh." So the next day I went to my artist. I was like, "All right, give me a tattoo."
Yes.
And then everything changed when people like, "You want a tattoo shop?" I'm like, "Yeah, my artist just did this." It was like, "Oh, where are you located? I want to get one."
Right.
And like the sales just start coming in. I was like, when you personally use the product, it's completely different.
It is.
Use this
Even though,
skincare. What do you use? Well, I don't know.
or I use this company over here, but I'm trying to sell you this company right here. Like that don't make sense.
No, that's backwards.
Right. Yeah, even though with the tattoo shop, you could just be a boss, and have a tattoo shop, but look how that customer was looking at you like, wait a minute, how you want to convince me to go to your tattoo shop and you don't even have a tattoo?
Exactly. If you don't trust your artist to give you a tattoo, why would I?
Right, right. Like you couldn't even get a 1-inch tattoo or something on you.
It was crazy. So I learned that personal use lesson quick.
Yes. And you were able to see a difference too immediately when you was like, look, here go the proof. And they was like, oh yeah.
Immediate. I remember that night I went over to my brother's house and like I went and bought a tank top. Never wore tank tops. Went and bought a tank top and everything just so people could see the tattoo. They opened the door. When did you get a tattoo? That's like, yeah, I just got it earlier today at my shop. Wait, you mean you really got a shop? I'm like, yeah, actually, I think that same week my brother went to the shop and got a tattoo. 2 of my brothers.
Wow. Wait, they said you really got a shop, so they didn't even believe you at first a little bit.
Didn't even believe it. I'm like, yeah, like, where do you think I'm at? Like 16 hours a day. Like,
yeah, okay.
He was like, you see, I ain't working at jobs. Like, where do you think I go?
Right. But that's the thing is, what you did, you defied the odds. It's like I've never heard a child say, I don't want to grow up to work for nobody, which I feel like that's kind of crazy to even ask a child what do they want to be. They have yet to experience life, and then we have that pressure on you from that child. Oh, I have to be this because I've been saying it since I was a kid. And then you get into your 30s and 40s and have a midlife crisis and be like, this isn't what I want to do. And my oldest son, so before the pandemic hit, he was very into sports. He was doing college football and everything. But, when the pandemic hit, after a year of being online, he was just like, Mom, I'm done with college. He was just like, I'm done. I'm like, son, but you only got one semester to go. And he was just like, okay, but what am I going to do? He was like, I'm not doing the football thing anymore or the basketball thing. He was like, I can go back anytime and get this degree. He was ready to start his journey as an entrepreneur. And I could not, it didn't make sense to be like, no, you can't start your journey to be an entrepreneur. You need to go to school and finish these classes, even though you ain't going to do nothing with this degree. It didn't make no sense. I was like, as long as I know you're going to go back at some point in time, then go out and do your thing. It was like, I had to have that faith in him. He's been watching me, his whole life. So.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the college thing either, obviously. Because I was like, what am I going to do to college? Go to college, get $100,000 in debt to try to go get a job? I don't want a job or the debt. So I was like,
neither one.
So, but I am definitely an anomaly. Definitely. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they found it weird that I was like, I remember being 13 years old, 11 years old, actually. Geez, I think I told her wrong. I was 11 years old. And I remember going to my dad and saying, Dad, I want to go networking. He's like, what?
Like, what you trying to go do?
He's like, networking? Oh, yeah, I want to go meet some people.
Did he take you?
Yeah.
Wow. So your parents did support you in your entrepreneur spirit. That is so beautiful.
In the first event he took me to, I met a guy named Wally who ended up becoming like a big brother and mentor to me. Still got a great relationship with him to this day. And yeah, it changed everything.
Yeah, that is good. Like my son's now. So my dad, even though he's retired, he ended up getting into the insurance game. He's an insurance broker now. Right. And so now he's getting my two oldest sons, involved with that, and so I'm happy, that they're following in the steps of their grandfather, because it's like I'm my dad's only child. And so, and I tell them, he's built this massive legacy. And I'm all like, a lot of people tell me, oh, yeah, your dad's leaving you all this and that. And I'm all like, you act like my dad is that much older than me. Like he's 80 and I'm 20. Like, no, what he has, I see that for my children, that's their legacy. And they need to be under his wing to be able to know how to take care of and handle business like that.
That's so key. One of my biggest pleasures is the fact that right now I'm helping my dad start his new business. I told my dad, I'm about to make you $1 million this year. He's
wow,
like, he just goes, sounds good to me. And I lay out the game plan for him. And he's like, well, I never thought about doing this. He's like, well, I don't know. Cause like he has all these ideas. He wants to do all these things. And I love it. I love his ambition. And I know he's a great salesperson. Like I learned sales from him. And he loves doing like magic tricks. That's like his hobby, his passion. Yeah. Like every time you see him, like he's going to do some type of card trick or some type of new trick. Every time you see him, you can just bump into him at a grocery store and he's going to look around for something. He's going to try to do a magic trick. I was like, Dad, like we talked about online courses and stuff. I'm like, do an online course teaching people how to do magic tricks.
Yes.
He's like, well, I never thought about doing that. I was like, yeah, I'm like, dude, TikTok, you could go viral right now. Like, post 2-3 different tricks a day, build up your engagement, watch a low ticket course. And I'm like, I built the funnels. So in case you don't know, I own a marketing company. So
Okay.
I'm like, I'll market you. And I was like, we could blow this thing up and we could help you make $1 million this year. And he's like, all right. He's like, but I don't know about posting on TikTok and this and that. I'm like, Dad, you send me a magic trick video on TikTok like once a week. Obviously, there's a market for it. He's like, I don't know. So a couple of days ago on Monday this week, we're at his house and he starts doing a magic trick. I pull out my phone, post it on TikTok. I'm like, your video has the most engagement out of any of my videos right now.
What? That is so good. And that's so unique. It's like, who else is out here doing this? No one. That's like a wide open market for him. And you tapped into what he loves already. So you're going to do tricks every day. Now you have a reason to do these tricks.
Yep. I'm like,
What did he
no,
say when you showed him the engagement? Was he surprised?
I haven't told him yet. I'm letting it build
Oh,
up a little bit more, and I'm gonna tell him.
okay.
I'm like, look at this, look at this.
Yes.
But it's awesome. So yeah, I like hearing like your dad starting the business, and it's just overall like now like all my siblings are getting to starting businesses. My older brother finally started reading books, and I'm like, about time. I'm so proud of you.
Right. I like, oh, I'm so happy. But you would think they done watched you since you were a little kid with this entrepreneur spirit. You would think they would have followed you a long time ago. But as long as everyone's waking up and they're following now, that's all that matters. Because that means you led the way.
Yeah, I just look at them like, and still like they're just now, as of like last month, coming to me for like advice. Like I've always offered, I'm like, hey, like people pay me a ton of money for this, but I'll give it to you guys for free. Just let me know. Like I'll teach you guys everything. Y'all are my brothers.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, okay. And they'll go study these other people and this and that. I'm like, you have to work 9 months to make what I made last month. Like, just ask me for help.
Like, I'm gonna help you. Just come on. But sometimes people, when the closest people to you don't see, your gift, they want to go around the whole world and talk to everyone else. And when it don't go the way how they see you doing it, then they come back around. Then you be like, well, now it's not free. You're gonna have to pay like everybody else.
Right? That familiarity really breeds contempt. So
Right.
for other people, it's like, oh, it's Jeremy, it's Kayshaun, like these are the business owners. But to family, it's like, that's my brother. No, that's my mom. Like,
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it's entrepreneurship is such a funny world.
It is, but it's a lot of learning. And what I've learned too is that we never stop learning. You think that you could just go to school or take this course, but times are changing. We got to be flexible. Like, who knew COVID was going to be here and we would be cut off from the world? Anyone who was against going online, if they wanted to have a business, they had to pivot and make that shift, and then when the world opened up again, you had to pivot, and make that shift again. And it takes consistent learning, consistent, we got to adapt to what's going on.
Yep, you have to adapt. You're either moving forward or you're moving back, right?
Right.
Cool. Well, for the sake of time, I do just want to end by opening up the floor to you and just the floor is yours. Promote whatever you want. Let everybody know where they can find you, everything you got going on, whatever you feel like sharing.
Okay. Well, let me just, end it with introducing myself again. I'm Kayshaun Brooks. I'm a holistic pain and trauma warrior, owner of Renew You Body Butters. We are a luxury skin company making products for those with like eczema, psoriasis, hyperpigmentation, body acne, things of that nature. All of our products are organic, and we have partnered with 48 affiliates, one celebrity brand ambassador who's all about bringing brand awareness and making money. And I am helping establish entrepreneurs and nonprofits start, grow, and scale their own programs. And you can find me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, what is it? Not YouTube. That's one I need to get on next. But TikTok, it's Renew You Body Butters across the board. And I'm not one of those owners that you can reach out into the DM. I will respond, or my team will get the message for me to respond. And the website again is www.renewubodybutter. That's RenewUBodyButter.com, just like how it sounds. And I had a marvelous time. Oh, can I offer your audience a free gift?
Yeah, go for it. Whatever you want.
Okay. And I'll make sure I send the link to you so you can put it in the notes. So if anyone is interested in, about affiliate programs, which, a little disclaimer, affiliate program is nothing different than a referral program. It's just someone referring your product or service for something in return. That can be free product, it can be money, your service, consultations, or whatever you two come to an agreement with. But I do have a free ebook. It is 10 reasons to start your own affiliate program. And it either you can get it from Jeremy in this podcast, or if you follow me on Instagram, it's in the link in my bio, and you can download that for free, because I feel like everyone should start their own affiliate program. Every business, a lot of these big companies, they have them, and we've been sleeping on them. And these 10 reasons are 10 reasons I've learned over these 2 years. When I started this, it was about, I need more sales, I need, more exposure, but it grew into so much more when I started to make a relationship with the affiliates and collaborate and network and just build that relationship with them. It changed the game.
That's awesome. So yeah, I would definitely make sure I link to everything and all your social channels on each of the platforms we post on. And yeah, it's just been an absolute pleasure having you, Kayshaun. And I know everyone else has got a ton of value from you. So I guess it's just time to close the show and say, good seeing you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.